Hi, this is Peyton with Girls Gone Right.
And this is Megan. Welcome to our pop culture segment. In light of the recent news of Kyle Richards from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and her marriage being on the rocks, and the rumors of her dating a female country star, Morgan Wade, we are going to go through 5 scandals of the Real Housewives.
Ooh. Guys, I'm not going to lie. I don't know who these housewives are. I don't know what their business is.
It's okay, Peyton.
I watched some clips that Megan sent me, so I do know a little bit of the tea. I have seen these scandals on the internet.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure. I just know that there's a lot of drama to it.
A lot.
So I'm going to try to understand it. Megan just knows all of the pop culture stuff, guys. And I just don't.
It's okay. I actually would honestly rather you watch movies and Friends than watch The Real Housewives.
Okay, good.
But there's so much to dive into.
I can't wait. I love drama, so I feel like I'm going to enjoy this.
You will. And we aren't calling it a top 5 because there are just so many scandals in the Real Housewives franchises. So if you like this and you want us to do another one, I'm sure that there are another 5 that we can find. All right, the first one. Jen Shah from Salt Lake City and her telemarketing fraud case. So during the filming of season 2, the cast was about to go on their first cast trip, and the NYPD showed up outside of their bus that they were going to take to wherever they were going, and to arrest Jen.
Wow.
Yeah. So this was kind of like the first thing we had seen about this scandal on the show. And it was crazy because it just looked like SWAT surrounded the bus.
Wow.
But they're about to head out for their trip, and her husband actually called her and tipped her off that they were coming. So she made a getaway, and she didn't make it very far because they found her on the side of the road.
Bonnie and Clyde moment.
They found her on the side of the road and they arrested her.
Wow.
It's crazy. But in March of 2021, she was criminally charged with conspiracy to commit money laundering and wire fraud. And she pled not guilty to both charges, but in July of 2022, she pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud and was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison. And in January of 2023, she began her sentence the following month.
So here's my question. How is a housewife doing all of this? How is a supposed housewife and also a criminal?
Yeah. Well,
this is a lot of work. A lot of work goes into this.
Several criminals within the Real Housewives
the amount of work that goes into wire fraud, I can only imagine. And she's out here also being a housewife, cleaning the floors, making dinner,
not clean the floors.
Shroud wife, and wire fraud.
Well, the Salt Lake City one is probably the most recent franchise for Real Housewives. I think they're only on season 3. But when she came on the first season, she was very obnoxious with the brands and the elaborate and eccentric things that she had. Like she wanted
Jen?
Okay. She wanted you to know like
bougie.
Super bougie. And most of the time the people that...
Okay, that's probably just an obvious
red flag
that she is committing wire fraud.
or something. Because usually the people that have money and they made their money hard by working really, really hard.
They don't flaunt it.
They don't flaunt it.
Bill Gates, also a terrible person.
Steve Jobs.
But wearing sneakers and jeans.
Yeah, he wore the same thing every day.
Yeah, rich people, you wouldn't know that they're rich. The people that flaunt it are new money or wire fraud.
They're making their money in a sketchy way or illegally.
Drug dealers are like the sketchiest people in the sense that they have a nice ass car and then they're like, I'm unemployed.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well then
I paid for it in cash.
Yeah. How did you get that brand new Mercedes all in cash?
You're like, I paid for it all in cash.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, were you a stripper? Scandalous. So yeah, she was very, very much flaunting everything that she had in her closet. And then when they started to downgrade their house in the last season that she was on, because obviously she's not on the show anymore. She's in prison for the next 6.5 years. They had to find a smaller house and their budget was no longer the same. time, and she was just complaining and being such a sourpuss about it. And it's like,
so she's really in jail.
Oh, yeah.
So is this like the point of the show? They wanted to get people that are criminals on it to make it spicy? Or was that just an accident?
Well, here's the thing. They always have to have a storyline.
Okay. So she was a storyline.
So it's not all technically real.
Yeah. But that one was because she's in jail.
That one definitely was for sure.
Got it.
So she's in prison, guys. Don't commit wire fraud. She was also doing it to like old people. So like Scammer Payback is somebody that we watch.
Like people that have Alzheimer's taking advantage of sick people.
Yeah. So shout out to Scammer Payback. If you have not watched any of his material and his content, I highly suggest going over to his channel. He is very educated and very, very smart, and he helps take down scammers from India and specifically, but all kinds of scammers. So this kind of thing is what she was doing. It was really sad, taking advantage of the elderly. Okay. Speaking of elderly, Erica Jane, or Erica Girardi from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, announcing her divorce to husband Tom Girardi in November of 2020. So the couple married when she was just 28 and he was 60 in 2000. So
so beautiful. She's just an old soul.
Sure.
Wait, you guys know that song? She take my money.
There it is.
And I'm in need.
She's a trifling.
Brandy indeed.
Oh, she's a gold digger.
Well, over time,
the dig's on me. Gold digger. Yeah, she's a gold digger. I don't care how many times you try to deny it. Girl. No, absolutely not.
I'm just not sure what you'd have in common besides the fact that you want his money.
Oh, and she spent it. So she was also, well, she is, I guess, a singer.
Oh, yes. She tried to pursue a career because she's
with his
like, money bought me everything. I need something else.
Yeah.
But except you need talent for that.
Yeah. I mean, Luann said, money can't buy your class.
Money can't buy your class.
She's from The Real Housewives of New York City. It seems like there's at least one Real Housewife from every franchise that tries to come out with a song. I'll say that Erica's songs have been probably the most successful, but it's because she has a lot of money behind it. Well, not anymore. But within the same month of announcing their divorce, it was revealed that Tom was accused of embezzling funds from the Lion Air Flight 610 victims. So this was that flight that crashed into a neighborhood. I don't know if you remember that. And it killed a lot of people. Erica denied having any part of it, but was painted as a villain, obviously, because she married the guy. She was married to him when this happened. But she was painted as a villain, especially throughout the season that aired after all the information came out about the lawsuit, because she refused to give back a pair of diamond earrings that were valued at $750,000.
Because it was a gift.
It was a gift.
These were $790 and now they're $130. So there you go. Why wouldn't I wear my earrings? They've been my earrings for 15 years. And until the day that they are not my earrings, I will wear them.
So here's my question. Riddle me this.
Okay.
If they're so rich, why are they embezzling and committing wire fraud? If you're so wealthy, why do we need more money?
Yeah. There's a documentary about this whole thing. It's very interesting. It's on Hulu. I watched it. And he was taking money that was supposed to go to the victims.
Wow.
Yeah. He was taking their money. Their settlement money.
Horrible person.
Yeah.
And gosh, I hope she didn't know about that. I hope she's being honest.
She claims that she had no idea, but honestly,
because to be with someone that's like that and then use their money and look the other way, you are just as much of a criminal.
Yeah. And I mean, she's not in prison, so obviously there wasn't enough hard evidence against her to convict her or sentence her to anything. But it's not a good look when you have a pair of $750,000 diamond earrings that you're not willing to give up, because she could have easily given them up, sold them, and taken that money and
because it was worth more.
Given it to the victims that your husband stole from that absolutely need it. You don't need it.
This happened on the show?
Yeah.
Whoa, how are they getting such good content? It's like,
storylines.
We just randomly selected these really rich people. Turns out they're all criminals and we're going to get it on camera. This is like what is like the crime shows?
Oh, like Forensic Files.
Yeah, this is like
Killer Couples.
Yes, this is like I Married a Murderer. This is something crazy. And how are they catching it all on camera?
Yeah, so
fantastic work by the production.
All this information started coming out, I believe, right before the season aired.
Wow.
So they like did a backtrack where they tried to like film and catch more footage of it so make it juicy and spicy. But this whole thing about the earrings was a big part of the storyline, which I agree with. She should have sold them and given the money to the victims. But she was so adamant that she deserved them because they were a gift and she had nothing to do with it. And it just was not a good look. It was not cute at all.
And they're just earrings.
They're just earrings. Exactly. They're just earrings. So
it's like that Kim K moment where she drops an earring in the ocean on vacation and she starts crying.
Earring.
People are dying, Kim.
Hey, fun fact. That same trip, there was an episode where my song played on an episode.
Wait, what? Yeah. They played your song?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. It was in the background.
That's huge.
That's huge. Okay, our next scandal is Vicki Gunvalson from the Real Housewives of Orange County covering up her boyfriend Brooks and his fake cancer.
Wow. Okay. This is crazy. And they're catching all of this on camera.
Yes.
How? Where do they find these people? Like, you look like a terrible person. Do you want to be on a TV show?
Yes, absolutely. If you're not terrible, make me terrible.
Wow.
So nobody liked this guy to begin with. He was just very, very ick.
Yeah.
Ick. But I guess he was trying to gain sympathy from her friend group and probably fans. And he fabricated a very in-depth story claiming to have cancer, which is awful. Shannon and Meghan, other castmates, were the only ones highly questioning the validity of his story. And they did like some investigative work. They hired a psychic to kind of come in and be like, he's lying. But later, Brooks himself actually revealed that he had been lying the whole time and pulling this big scam.
Thing to lie. That's a terrible thing to lie about.
It's a terrible thing to lie about. And he would have had to have come clean anyway because there was no evidence of him being sick whatsoever. But it all came to the surface after the hospital that he lied and fabricated documents from the City of Hope Hospital. They came out and said he had never been a patient there or ever been treated at that hospital. And Vicki helped in this lie, and it made her look very, very stupid, which they kind of do that all on their own, but it made her look even more stupid.
What kind of... These people need counseling. This is a toxic relationship where you are playing Bonnie and Clyde. You're lying for each other over terrible, terrible things. Yeah, So Real Housewives, they're not housewives though.
No, a lot of them are not Real Housewives. And
fact check, they're not Real Housewives, guys.
The word real should not be in front of the word housewife because
some of them are just dating.
Yeah. Some of them are single, some of them are divorced, some of them...
Very confusing title, guys.
Yes.
Very misleading.
Yeah. But I do remember watching this, and Meghan came forward and was bringing it from a place of like, my mother had cancer. I had to get tested for the BRCA gene to make sure that she didn't have breast cancer. So she was getting like personally heated about it, and which made the drama even more juicier to watch because she's coming from that place. But yeah, Vicki.
So Meghan seems like one of the good people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like her and Shannon. Okay, next one. This one's real juicy.
Oh my gosh. See, like the other ones weren't.
Teresa Giudice of New Jersey sentenced to prison after filing for bankruptcy in October of 2009, claiming $10.98 million in debt.
Wow.
That's a lot of money. How?
What are you buying?
All the things. Oh, if you go back and watch the first season, wow. All
just
the
like
things.
trying to fit in and live the bougie life.
Again, so this brings back to Jen Shaw, how she was flaunting all her stuff. It was the same thing in season 1 of New Jersey. Teresa was doing the same thing.
They have to be able to flaunt their money in front of everyone, and it's never enough. You just have to go into a massive amount of debt to show your hierarchy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So in December of 2011, Teresa and her husband Joe dropped their bankruptcy petition and decided against selling all their personal effects, so the things that they owed money for. However, they were already on law officials' radar because they failed to disclose Teresa's income and salary from the Real Housewives, which is $110,000. And Joe was then accused of failing to report $1 million in income between the years of 2004 and 2008.
Wow.
What's with Italians being sketchy with their monies? It's like mob. It's like mob mentality. They're like, I'm a Giudice. No one really knows how to say that last name. They're like, is it Giudice? Is it Giudice? Whatever. But
couldn't tell you. I'm bad at that.
I don't
really
care.
bad at last names.
He's like, don't ask me. I'm the one that's bad with names. They lied in bankruptcy court and to the IRS and to a number of banks. They were charged with 39 counts of mail, wire, and bankruptcy fraud for undervaluing their assets, exaggerating their income on applications, and failing to report their actual earnings.
Wow, it's shocking to see someone that's committed almost more crimes than Joe Biden or Hunter Biden.
With money, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Who's better with money, the Real Housewives or Hunter Biden?
The Real Housewives. The Real Housewives. Because at least they still have values, right? They still believe in marriage and kids and all that.
They're like,
Hunter Biden just wants to smoke
we're a good
Parmesan
American
cheese.
family that has a problem with wire fraud.
I mean, who are you going to trust? The guy who smokes drywall? Or somebody who just wants a Gucci bag?
Just like, I just can't kick my bad habit of wire fraud.
Oh my goodness!
I couldn't even tell you how to wire fraud.
Good. You should not learn how. Let's just say that.
It couldn't be me guilty.
I just hit my face on the microphone. This big hair. I lost my depth perception for everything. Okay. On July 29, 2013, they were indicted on federal fraud charges and each released on a $500,000 bail with the intentions of pleading not guilty.
These headlines sound like they're in Washington Post. Real Housewife indicted.
Yes. Yes. And then in October of 2014, they pled guilty, which came with hefty fines and 15 months in prison for Teresa and 41 months in prison for Joe. They were allowed to serve those terms separately so that one of them could be at home with their children. And they actually aired Teresa coming home on season 7. And it was actually pretty heartbreaking or heart-wrenching to watch because the girls, they went to visit her. She has 4 daughters.
Oh.
They went to visit her, but obviously they didn't have their mom at home. And now she's back. And now they're having to say goodbye to their dad.
How old are the kids?
I think at that time, the oldest one was 16. Oh, and the youngest may have been 7.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, it was like, really sad.
Sorry, mommy committed
Mommy and
fraud.
daddy lied to you about how they got their money. And lied that they had any. Sorry. But yeah, it was really sad. And the other sad part of it is her mom fell ill while she was in prison and died like a couple months after she got
Teresa?
Mm-hmm. No, Teresa's mom.
Oh.
Yeah. So she was very...
like you couldn't even be there for your mom because you're in prison.
Yeah, she was very resentful towards Joe, not only for lying about the money and the fraud and bankruptcy, but he kept her from spending the final months of her mom's life.
Actually, this is like, I can't believe that all of this is real. Like the sequence of events.
Yeah. And then like a year or so later, her dad died. Yeah. It was really sad.
That's horrible.
I'm not a big fan of Teresa, especially after this most recent season. New Jersey's my favorite. But
it's really tough.
That's really sad. Really, really sad. So I did feel for her for that. Not the crimes they committed, but she's still human, and that's sad.
Yeah.
Okay, our final one for this episode. My favorite housewife of all time, Lisa Vanderpump.
So is she from Vanderpump Rules? She's the one that has the restaurants. Okay, she's the owner.
Yes.
Okay, I know who this is because you made me watch it.
I did make you watch Vanderpump Rules. Mm-hmm. So Lisa is from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She's no longer on it, but she still is on Vanderpump Rules. She was on Housewives first, and then they did a spinoff for Vanderpump Rules.
That's why they're both so dramatic and controversial. It's like by the same producers.
Yes. So it's all on Bravo. Mm-hmm. So Lisa Vanderpump from Beverly Hills and Puppygate is what they named it. Lisa is known for her love of animals, especially dogs. And before the taping of season 9, another castmate, Dorit, adopted a puppy, Lucy, from Vanderpump Dogs. That soon after she adopted that puppy, it bit one of her children, and she found the dog a new owner, who then turned around and gave that puppy to an animal shelter.
Oh.
Yeah. Another sad story, but the drama was so outrageous around this. So Vanderpump Dogs makes their adopters sign a contract so that things like this don't happen. Mm-hmm. And it comes with a $1,000 fine if they find out.
Yeah.
Which obviously Dorit can afford that. That's probably like pennies to her.
Yeah.
But it's very clear in the contract, the rules, the regulations, and everything like that, so that they prevent things like this from happening. But at the beginning of the season, neither of them, Lisa or Dorit, knew that the new home that Dorit had found the puppy for, that owner had given the puppy to an animal shelter. They both didn't know until later. But Lisa was the most upset at Dorit because she didn't bring it back to Vanderpump Dogs.
To like find it a new home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I can see that.
Yeah. And I can also understand why Dorit probably didn't want to. She didn't want to hurt Lisa's feelings. But at the end of the day, the puppy needs a good home.
Yeah.
And you know that the dogs that leave Vanderpump Dogs are going to get a good home.
Yeah.
But she also didn't know that this woman was going to take the dog to a shelter. But Lisa was very adamant about sticking up for Dorit and the fact that she didn't know that the woman took it to a shelter. But they were able to track down the dog and get her back to Vanderpump Dogs. And that is when it all started to get real, real ugly. Very unnecessary. It was very unnecessary, the amount of drama surrounding this little puppy.
From this just one dog. I guess it's better than wire fraud and stealing and embezzlement and bankruptcy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so one of the workers at Vanderpump Dogs made it, like, I'm sure they egged it on. They were like, talk about this, because it's not real, guys. It's all fake. And plus his name is like Blizzard. His last name is Blizzard.
Wow.
But he was like, oh, don't you recognize this dog, to one of the other people? And they're like, is that the dog? And they're like, mm-hmm. I've been working all week trying to get this dog back. Yeah, they like made it like a huge deal and everything. And then Dorit found out that they were making a big deal about it at Vanderpump Dogs, and she got all pissed. And then someone leaked this information to the press, and then it painted Dorit as a horrible person, and then they tried to blame it on Lisa, and no one knows who actually leaked it to the press still to this day.
What a situation. I feel like we really went from heated conversations about what these people are doing, stealing, going to jail, dying, the really sad stuff.
Yeah.
And not that this isn't sad, but it is less concerning. It's less concerning.
And that's when I really started to not like Beverly Hills. So I was like, are we still talking about the damn puppy?
Where's the criminals?
Where are the criminals?
Where are the suburban criminals at?
This was before Erica. Erica was on the show, but this was before her
that
scandal.
Big scandal. Yeah.
But I was just like, that was when I started to realize, they're trying so hard to pull whatever they can to make content.
This is the epitome of trash TV.
Oh, 100%.
Trash, garbage TV. Let's find terrible people, give them a platform.
Yes.
Let them run with it. Let's make them look like evil, terrible people. Even if they're doing bad things, let's make them look worse.
Yes.
So this is really the pinnacle of terrible trash television. It's kind of like the suburban equivalent of Jersey Shores.
Yeah. Oh, I love Jersey Shore though.
Yeah.
I do. Ooh, we should do top 5 craziest moments from Jersey Shore. The Cassia. What also made me hate Beverly Hills, because this used to be my favorite franchise. Now it's New Jersey. In this same season, Lisa Vanderpump had just lost one of her dogs, her personal dogs, and her brother.
Oh.
And the way that they treated her, because obviously she was not in the right frame of mind. She was grieving.
Yeah.
And the way that they treated her was disgusting.
The
producers, the cast, all of them should be ashamed of themselves. Like, it was disgusting. And it was so bad for her. She didn't even show up to the reunion and she quit.
Good for her.
I know. I was like, I don't even blame her.
Good for her for walking away.
Yeah, I don't even blame her.
I think with these trash television shows, they're obviously trying to get the most content that's going to stir the pot and cause controversy. But also, these people are just still human. So although they do bad things, or the producers make them out to be villains.
Yeah, there's always a villain.
There's always a villain. They have to. If there was no villain, there'd be no TV.
Exactly. There's always a villain each season in every franchise. Yeah. And usually it's the new girl when they bring them in, or somebody that they're trying to push out.
Yeah.
That they don't want on the show anymore.
Well, the good news is I will never be on The Real Housewives.
What are you talking about?
Interested.
Real Housewives of the conservatives.
Listen, Bravo, I'm not interested. We're not doing it.
Hey, there were rumors that they were bringing it to Nashville.
Okay, actually, I take that back. You can find our email in the bio, so it's not completely out.
We're not tossing it out completely.
Yeah.
I mean, look at us.
Look at us. I mean, come on. Nashville. I mean, if you're here, you might as well.
I mean, come on.
Come on. Who else are you going to get in Nashville?
Fresh faces. Let's go. But I think the country music, I just sounded so country when I said that. The country music, the country music scene and musicians were like, absolutely not.
Oh, I think that they're going to be able to pull some big country housewives for this. They love the drama, because there are some housewives that their husbands are on tour traveling and they're just at home.
Here's a thought. Maybe they're like, ooh, let's do Nashville, thinking that they would be super lib. And then they got here and they're like, oh crap, never mind.
Yeah.
Because
walk it back.
A lot of the wives are very based.
Yeah. Actually, that's a really good point. I do think we have a lot of conservatives here, especially the country singers' wives, because Brittany Aldean, she is so strong about her beliefs. She's such a big advocate.
Yes.
So it's going to be a little trickier.
Brittany, if you ever want to come on our show.
Yes. Brittany, we are big fans.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing that instead of just doing nothing and being, because they don't have to do these things.
No, they don't.
Are very well off. They don't have to be doing any of this work, but they are, and they care, and they're protecting their children. And I think that's awesome. So how about, here's an idea. Let's do a conservative Real Housewives.
Let's get a conservative version of Bravo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder, where would we get that from?
I don't know.
That's so weird. I wonder who's doing that.
We should create it. We should just create our own network.
Yeah.
Call it Conservative Bravo.
I have an idea. It's just going to be conservative Bravo.
But I think that's probably why they shut it down. And also, there's a show called Married to Medicine that takes place in Atlanta. I think they try to do a Married to Music here.
And they're like, can't work. These people are just...
There's too based.
They have too much common sense here.
They're not dumb enough.
They're not drinking enough green smoothies.
They're not dumb enough. They don't believe in climate change and all the things.
All the things
that are all just BS. I sound like Norm Macdonald. All right. Well, that was fun. And if you want us to do more, comment below, like this video, share this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, smash that like button.
Yeah, smash that like button so you can see us again. Actually, I didn't mind doing this one. It was very interesting.
I know.
And I can't believe I've missed out on so much of this. I don't know anything about
Are you intrigued? Do you feel like you have to go watch it
I'm
now?
intrigued. I'm shocked that there's so much controversy. This was a lot for some housewives that are just... I was picturing some moms drinking in suburbia.
Oh, no.
And this is way different than what I thought. So it's very interesting.
I think that with Salt Lake City only being on season 3, I think that would be an easy catch up for you.
A starter one.
That's a starter one. And then you can go watch New Jersey and watch Teresa flip a table.
We'll do it. Yeah.
Because it's so good. It's so dramatic.
I've been watching Married at First Sight, and maybe we should do a recap on that one. Oh, guys, it is... I am obsessed. It's like a train wreck and you can't stop watching.
This is what I do when I watch it.
Oh, yeah. I know. Like, it's
I can't.
Just so mind-blowing, and I don't know why someone would do this. And it's just like, why? And then you know what the other people are saying, and you're like, oh my gosh, if only you knew what he's thinking, but he's telling the producers. So it's like a whole thing, and I love watching it because it's just terrifying, but then sometimes it works out. So you don't know if it's going to end well or bad, and I love it. So maybe we'll do a recap on that one.
Yeah. That would be good. Yeah, tell us what you want us to do next. Maybe we'll do Jersey Shore, Married at First Sight,
so many
Fiancé, My 600-Pound Life.
Toddlers in Tears. There's so many options, guys.
All of it. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, make sure to follow us on TikTok and on Instagram @Girls Gone Right. And we will see you on the next one.
See you later.